Kelvin, Prabhavati, Fatima, Sandeep, Mohammed, Sarita, Maria, Darshana and Samo. Is my voice perfectly audible? Okay, great. Sorry, I got a bit late today. Few minutes, like I started the class, few minutes late because I was not able to connect with the net. There is some error in my net. Discrepancy at my end. Owing to that, I was not able to connect with the classroom. So today we are going to do an array of things. Okay. So let me put the PPTs on the board. Okay. First of all, we are going to do the training topic under HR. Okay. Employee separation, training, all these stuffs we are going to do today. Wages and salaries. Fine. So this is going to take some time. So yeah, what we can do, let me read it from my end. Okay. Alright, so see, let me give you a brief idea of what we are going to do today in class. Okay. First of all, let me tell you. Okay, so the PPT is already there on the board. I guess you would be able to see it now, everyone out there. So are you able to see the PPT? Okay, just wait for a minute. So training tools were increasing, yeah. Alright. Yeah. So the topic for today is training tools. See, when they hire you, when the company people hire you, okay, in order to increase the productivity of manpower, they need to train them, right? Once they hire employees, in order to increase their productivity, they need to train them, right everyone? Yes or no? Okay, so this is what we are going to do today. Agenda. Importance of training. Okay, we are going to do importance of training. Who will do the training? How employees learn best. Developing a job training program. Retraining. Overcoming obstacles to learn. Okay, so before we begin with it, there is one quote by Mark Twain, which is, "There is nothing training cannot do. Nothing is above its reach. It can turn bad morals to good. Okay, it can destroy bad principles and create good ones. It can lift men to angelship." Fine? Is it here? No. Let's see. Delivering customized training successfully. Okay? Okay. Now, the workplace skills strategy. Please pay heed to this. Okay, this is very important. Human capital is increasingly regarded as one of the major drivers of productivity, economic growth and competitive advantage. See, if they have all the tools, if they have all the equipments, but if manpower is not there, okay, what is going to happen? If manpower is not there, all the tools are there, all the technology is there, every equipment is there, but the tools, but the manpower is not there. What is going to happen in that case? Tell me, who is going to answer this question? Maria, Darshana, Samo, Sarfaraz, Ajit. What is going to happen in that case? Sarita, Mohammed, Sandeep, Fatima, Prabhavati and Kelvin. Suppose everything is there, all the equipments are there, all the machines are there, but the manpower is not there. No production. So human capital is the most important of all. Yes. So it is the major driver. That's why it is being mentioned here that it is the major driver of productivity, economic growth and competitive advantage. Recognize. And now once they hire people, obviously they have some criteria, and based on that they do the selection. But still, on-job training should be given. Once the employee is being hired, they have to be made sure, their skills have to be polished as per the company demands, right? So for that, proper training is being required, right? Recognizing the importance of human capital, the training manpower sets out to generate. See, you might be very good, but you will be skilled as per required by the company once they are going to train you. And it is going to motivate you as well to work in that company, because you will be trained as per the requirements of the company, right? And resilient workforce, a skilled, adaptable, motivated and resilient workforce. Clear, everyone? Shall we proceed ahead? Okay. A flexible, efficient labor market, a responsive strategy to meet employers' need for skilled workers, right? Every employer need a skilled worker, right? So for that they have to train, because the employees won't be trained as per your requirement unless and until you are going to train them. You are going to tell them what you really need and how you are going to encash their skills. A learned employee can retain customers and increase business and market share through proper behavior and good public relations. So it's not like they had to be trained on a project they are working, or on a technology they need to work, but they also need to be trained on how they need to handle customers, right? Because if a company can retain customers, obviously it is going to increase the business, right? Is it clear? Any questions? Anyone out there? Great. As a demand-driven approach to human resource and skill development, the training will build and strengthen relationship and among workplace partners and better engage employers' union to respond to the challenges of the workplace skill development. See, if we join some company, obviously there are challenges. We are going to face challenges because that thing is new to us, right? So for that, we have to be trained. This is going to strengthen our, see, if I am motivated to do something, if I know something, I'll be motivated to do it and I will deliver quality, right? So for that, training is very much important. And if I am trained and if I am able to do the work properly, obviously it is going to add feel, and I will get the rewards for the same. I'll be appreciated. It is going to evoke positivity in me, and if I am positive, obviously I'm going to behave well with the other fellow employees, right? And with the employer too, right? Human nature. Is this much clear? Now, before we proceed ahead to the next slide, I want you people to read it on your own to get the better idea of it. Then we are going to switch over to the next one. Please read it on your own. Okay, once you are done, just type done in the chat box. And do you have any class after this? Everyone out there? Do you have any class after this? Okay, so we are going to continue for 10 more minutes because we have started the class late. Okay? I hope you don't have any issues with that. You can just stay back for 10 more minutes. Once you are done, just let me know, please. Okay. Shall we switch over to the next part? Shall we jump to the next part? Okay. An organization is only good as its employees, right? If the employees are good, you know how this organization gets its recognition. Only if employees are good, right? We appreciate them, right? Because this organization cannot work on its own. It's the employees who are going to work for the organization. So if the organization is only good, that's why it is being said organization is only good as its employees. In order for an organization to produce professional, career-minded employees, an investment has to be made. If you really want your, employees to move in the direction you want them to move, okay, you have to extract their skills, and that can only be done through training, for which investment is required. An investment in training and education is a sure payoff. Nowadays there is a trend, company pays for your, if you want to do your MBA while in job, they pay for the same, right? You can do the executive MBA, right? Trends in proportions, viewing skill shortages as a serious problem. So as you can see, it's increasing. Nowadays you find less skilled people. That's why company want to retain people who are skilled. Importance of training, manager importance to overall business, and labor leaders importance to collective bargaining issues, as you can see it here in this graph. Please see this graph properly. Examples of training investment. Now, what are the examples of training investment? Industry and government in the United States spend approximately $90 billion each year on employees training and education. The more educated they are, obviously, they would be more productive for you, right? Average Japanese companies spend about 6% of budget on training. Study of major automobile manufacturers found US automakers spend about 40 hours training new employees compared to 300 hours for Japanese automakers. Can you imagine? They spend 300 hours, Japanese people for training the employees, new employees. Motorola's CEO required all division to spend at least 2% of budget on training. Over next 7 years, profit increased 47%. Okay, so as more trained the people were, the company's profit increased by 47%, and it was estimated that each $1 in training yielded $30 in return. Can you imagine? They're just investing $1 in training and they're getting $30 in return. Fine? Clear? Just read it on your own from industry till return, and then we're going to switch ahead. Now you have to read it on your own. Once you are done with the slide, yeah, you have to read it on your own. All right. Okay, training activities should be aligned with overall objective of the organization with a meaningful emphasis on value addition to our human resources. Now, can you see the next slide? Wait. It's going to take some time. Wait. I don't know why that is taking so much time. Just wait. Let me see what is the issue. Yeah. Case study in training to support. Wait. Not required. Yeah. Case study in training to support industry standards, the British Health Service project. The British National Health Service, 1.3 million employees needed basic IT skills training. Okay. Main objective, change by preparing for it, affect the change of behavior and change of attitude. Fine. Just read it on your own, the slide itself. Okay. Factors to consider. Training to benefit organization. Okay. Okay. Training to benefit employees. Training to benefit the industry. Provide a good return on investment. Okay. Now, results. Independent survey. Okay. 99% rated training experience as very or quite worthwhile. Okay. So this is the survey based on whatever training they might have done. Okay. 83% wanted to progress to further training. Okay. 94% much more or more confident in use of ICT. What is ICT? What does it mean when they say ICT here? Anyone? Information and communication technology. Information and communication technology. Okay. Positive attitude to new systems up from 30% to see if I'm being trained for something, then what is going to happen? Obviously, I'll have a positive attitude towards the new system, right? If I'm being trained, right? Okay. Negative attitude to new systems down from 30% to 3%. So if I'm being trained for something, why am I going to hold the negative attitude towards it? Okay. Clear? Return on investment. Hours spent learning less than hours saved by the use of new skills. As you can see it here. Fine? One of the needed tools for employees to get the job done. So training is a tool. Okay, it will act as a catalyst. Okay, and it is going to increase the productivity of employees, right? Why training? The sharing of information through training is our most valuable tool to develop our most valuable asset, our employees. So employees are obviously very valuable asset, and if you can train them, it would be productive for them. Okay, right? They are going to be more productive for you. This is how you can extract their skills. Once employees have proper tools in their toolbox, they will come to work on a daily basis with enthusiasm, and if they are doing something with enthusiasm, obviously they are going to yield better results. And the positive attitude to give a full day's work for a full day's pay. Fine? Okay. Okay, training should aim at empowering the employees, okay, increasing productivity, making the process more efficient and effective so as to ensure ultimate customer. So they should be trained how to handle with the customers. They should not only be trained in their specific domain, right? Improve the overall performance of the organization. Obviously, if all the employees are being trained properly and their performance is being enhanced, the organization is going to benefit the maximum. It is going to enhance the overall performance of the organization as well, right? Importance of training. Respond to technology changes affecting job requirements. Fine. Respond to organizational restructuring. Adapt to increased diversity of the workforce. Support career development. Fulfill employees' need for growth. Now, importance of training and development. Maintain skill level, advance skill and knowledge to improve. Okay. See, where we are standing now, we can only improve ourselves in terms of performance, service delivery through training itself, right? And we can only learn about the new technology. Okay. This is going to increase our productivity and this is going to enhance our skills too only through training, right? So that's why training is very, very important. Benefits of training individuals. Do job more efficiently, learn new methods. There is not only the way out which we know, a particular thing can be solved in many, many ways. We only see the way we know it, right? So if we get to know more ways, obviously we'll be more efficient, right? Right? Professional approach to work. Engage in the best practice routine. Personal satisfaction. Felt valued. If you are being trained and if you are doing your job well and if you are being appreciated for the same, obviously it is going to give you a feel good factor, right? Recognize qualification to add to CV, and it is going to add to your CV too, right? If you are more skilled, you can put that as a skill. If you have learned something, you can add it as a particular skill in your CV. Is this much clear to everyone? Now, the importance of employee training in increasing sales. Why does employee training do for you? What does employee training do for your business? Keep good employees, expand your offerings. See, if I know something and if I'm being trained into a particular another technology, okay, what is going to happen? I will be like, like versatile. One person can do, handle many things then, right? If I am already trained on Java and if I am being trained on ASP.NET, obviously I can work on both the projects, right? So I'll be more productive for the company. Expands your offerings, provides better customer service, makes your money. The employees of employee training and increasing sales, right? Keep good employees. No training program says to your employees, you are not worth it. You can't be trained. Training program says, we value you enough to put some time, money into making you better. Skills are already there. They just need to be polished. Okay? And we have to be diverted to think in that direction. Sometimes, we have skills, but we cannot recognize it on our own. So through training, we recognize it. And we start, working on that too. Right? Right? Right or not? We value your thinking. Employees do not quit companies, they quit bosses. The importance of employee training in increasing sales. We are in this thing together. Now, before we switch back to the next part, is this much clear to everyone? Yes. Great. I hope you are enjoying it. Now, can you just write it in one short paragraph? What all things we have learned till now under this? What is the importance of training when it comes to, training your employees? Then we are going to proceed ahead with it. Fine? Yeah, and after this we are going to learn about paternity leave rules. Okay, as it has been promised earlier. Okay, so just write it down and then we are going to learn about paternity leave, rules. I just want to be, since I am a female, I don't want to be, prejudiced. Many men were interested in knowing that, so I would like to cover that too. Now, paternity leave. A male government staff, including an apprentice, with less than 2 surviving children may be granted paternity leave by an authority competent to grant leave for a period of 15 days during the confinement of his wife for childbirth, up to 15 days before or up to 6 months from the date of delivery of the child. Fine. During such period of 15 days, he shall be paid leave salary equal to the pay drawn immediately before proceeding on leave. The paternity leave may be combined with the leave of any other kind. The paternity leave should not be debited against the leave account. If paternity leave is not availed of within the period specified in sub-rule 1, such leave will be treated as lapsed. And few more things I have for this. Wait, I'm going to share it with you. Okay, just a second. So this is like followed in India. Any questions on paternity leave? You can read it on your own too to get the better idea of this. You can read it on your own, please. So 15 days paternity leave you can leave. No, paternity leave is for males, not females. Maternity law I have already covered. Is everyone done with this? Okay, okay. Any questions? Anyone out there on paternity leave? Okay. Now, importance of employees training in increasing sales. Expands your offerings, your business. Training is equal to thinking. Okay. Training exposes employees to how we do it, in-house training, how others do it, that is outside training. Well-trained thinking employees can provide a fresh outlook, new business opportunities, better way of doing things. The importance of employee training in increasing sales. Customer service. Is it selling or marketing? Selling. Providing a product to customers for money. Okay. Marketing is convincing customers they need the product. Okay. So marketing is they just convince them that they need it. And selling is providing a product to customers for money. Fine. Is it clear? As you can see it here. Wait, it is going to take some time. Yeah. The importance of employee training in increasing sales. Better customer service. Direct customer interaction changes as a business grows. With a small business, the chance of interacting may be 100%. The importance of employee training in increasing sales. What are your employees saying to customers? I require, customer is saying this. Okay. We don't know, we don't sell anything, we can't help you if they are not trained. Okay. Now, if they are being trained, they will be good employees. Okay, you are going to have expanded business, better customer service, and you're going to make money. Give the supervisor more time to manage, standardized performance, less absentees. See, if they are trained, there will be less absentees, less turnover, reduced tension, consistency, lower cost, more customers, better service. Okay, so these are benefits of training. Gives the workers, see, these are the benefits which the supervisor is going to have. Okay, if the employees are being trained, supervisor is going to get more time to manage. Okay, less absentees will be there. Okay, Reduce tension. He won't be tensed over people getting, absent again and again. Consistency would be there. Cost would be lower. More customers would be there, and they are going to provide better service. Give the worker, and if workers are being trained, obviously what they get from that, it enhances their performance. It gives the workers confidence to do their jobs, reduce tension, boosts morale and job satisfaction. And if I'm satisfied, there would be less injuries, okay, and accidents. Gives them a chance to advance. Fine. Now you can read it on your own as well. Gives the business a good image and makes profit, more profit. Now read it on your own, and then we're going to jump to the next slide. Once you're done, just type done in the chat box itself. Okay, done? Okay. Benefits of training, a summary. Improve customer service and public relations. Fewer complaints, better morale and attitudes, less turnover and absenteeism. More involved in caring employees, proactive versus reactive employees. So these are the benefits of training, a summary. Management, one of the most important functions is to train people for their job. Then why is training often neglected? Everyone knows it is very important, but it is often neglected. Because we only, our mind only starts working at the last minute. We realize it at the last minute. Urgency of need, training time, costs, employee turnover, short-term workers, diversity of workers, kinds of jobs, not knowing exactly what do you want your people to do and how. So many companies, they don't know that what they exactly want from an employee. So why they want to train them? And some few of them, they save their costs, some save their time, some do not train them unless and until there is an emergency. And nowadays, most of the workers, they are like short term. The moment they are going to get a better offer, they are going to flee to another company, right? So because of that also, and because of diversity of workers, people are different, they are having a different job, job role is different. So owing to that, because of all these stuff, training is being neglected. Fine. Okay. Attitudes to training. Individual. How is that related to what I do? Employer will say, how can I be sure the organization will benefit? So, see, individuals, how they do it. Let's learn about it. How is that related to what I do? This is the question they're going to ask. Employees. I am good at my job and anyway I have no time. This is the comment we give, right? When we are being asked for the training. I suppose that's my weekend short for month. Are they trying to get rid of me? This is how individuals behave to training. And employers, how they work. They will say, how can I be sure that if I'm going to organize a training for the organization is going to benefit from that? Okay, this is how they say, right? Training is so expensive. How will I know if it has been effective? Will this affect the goal in developing and implementing standards and protocol for the organization? If I train them, they will leave. What is going to happen then? This is the attitude employers have. That's why they are not sure on training part. Fine. And this is how individuals behave. Clear, everyone? Is it clear? Kelvin, Prabhavati, Fatima, Sandeep, Mohammed, Darshana, Samu, Satraz, Ajit. Okay. Fine. Okay, you can read it on your own, these statements, and we are going to switch over to the next part. Okay, now let's switch back to the next one. Our frontline employees are often goodwill with ambassadors. Yet they are the ones who hold the most thankless job. Their role and their understanding of their role is the vital key towards their development and their ability to provide excellent customer service. Now, importance of training, teaching people how to do their jobs. There are three kinds of training, okay? That is job instruction, retraining and orientation. Now, how these three stuffs are different. The big sister, the big brother system is when our old hand dominates a newcomer, okay? When good training is absent, there is likely to be an atmosphere of tension, crisis and conflict because nobody knows what to do. Now, training process model needs assessment. First of all, they need to assess, right, where employees are standing now. Developing, conducting training, and then they have to evaluate whether it has been followed or not. Fine. Is it clear? Now, needs assessment. Organization level, then job level, and then individual level. So they have to assess it an individual on the basis of like individual level, job level, and organization level as well. Organizational level. Suppose the technology has been changed in an organization. So obviously the employees has to be trained, like they have to be trained for the same. If there is a change in workforce, again they have to be, trained on that. And if there is an organizational restructuring, unless and until they are trained, they won't be able to do their jobs well. Marketing plan, productivity measures. Now job level, job and task analysis. Okay, so every job demands a particular key skill. If the trainees are not having that, okay, I'm not trainees but employees, obviously you have to design a training program and then you have to train them accordingly. Fine. Individual level, determine who needs training and what kind of training. It's not like same training is going to work for everyone. You have to determine who needs what training, what kind of training. Test prior training and experience. Okay, performance review. You can just review their performance to get to know where they're standing now. Okay, and you can also get the reports about whether they had been trained earlier or not. Career assessment. Developing and conducting training. Determine location and who will conduct the training. So once you decide that you will train the employees, obviously you have to decide the location. Sometimes virtual trainings are being conducted on softwares like WebEx, which is similar to Visix, right? And you also need a specialized trainer for the training, right? On-site facilities versus off-site. Inside training staff versus outside vendors. Okay? Develop training curriculum. So obviously you have to develop a training curriculum, then only you can design it based on job task analysis and individual needs. Select training methods. You also have to select the methods, right? What methods you're going to employ to train them. Consider learning principles, and you also have to lay down the cost for it, right? In the front of the HR department. They actually sponsor that, right? and if they don't find something suitable, they are going to cut it short, right? Now, what is a unit training program and how to develop that? This is taught in several sessions. Okay, it should provide checkpoints to measure progress. Fine. Should include two elements: showing and telling the employee what to do, having the employee do it. Right. Location should be ambient. Training material should be same as used on the job. Fine. Is it clear? Any questions? Anyone out there? Okay. Who will do the training? The magic apron method. People train themselves the easiest way to get the job done. In magic apron method, everyone trains themselves. The person that is leaving trains teaches shortcuts and ways of breaking the rules. Big sister, big brother method. Passes on bad habits and may resent a new person as a competitor. The logical person to train new workers is the employer, right? Because they know what they expect from them. Clear? Now, how do employees see? You have designed a training program, and you have everything. Okay, but how will you ensure that employees learn the best? Learning is the acquisition of skills, knowledge, and attitudes. The adult learning theory. Okay, the adult learning theory is a field of research that examines how adults learn. So the way the kids learn is different and the way adults learn is different. A number of following come from the adult learning theory. A number of the following tips come from the adult learning theory. Now, how employees learn the best? Okay, now, when they are actively involved in the learning process, okay, rather than lecture kind of sessions, if they are being asked to involve, they can learn the best. Okay, when they are actively involved in the learning process, to do this, choose the appropriate teaching method. Training is relevant and practical. It should not be a theoretical thing, right? Training materials is organized and presented in chunks. If you are going to feed big information, huge information, okay, no one is going to take it. If it is in chunks, obviously we would be able to retain it. Training is an informal, quiet and comfortable setting. Now, we are done for today. Do you have any questions? Anyone out there? Is this much clear? Any questions? Okay, so thank you so much. I hope I was able to do justice with the subject. Okay, and see you on Monday. Please be there. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. And don't forget to fill the feedback form. Take care.